That's right. 2 weeks, no alcohol. I did it. This project is a huge success so far, so I'm just excited, really beyond belief. So, um, I knew, like I said before, I knew this would work, but I'm glad it worked, Makes me feel like I can outsmart myself. I don't know, it just makes me feel smart. So, glad I was able to do this, but I couldn't have done it without your help. So, I know I'm saying this again, but really appreciate you, listening and the support. So, thanks so much. Um, Tonight, want to get straight to the point. Um, I had a topic, and that is inspirations to avoid, episode 1, I guess, because I'll go over a few of them. Um, there's several inspirations I have to, avoid drinking. The most important, of course, is my family, myself, friends, the project, stuff like that, obvious things. But I wanted to go into some not obvious ones, some personal ones. And probably the most important one that comes to mind is Philip Seymour Hoffman. Now, I'm not going so much talk about his life. I mean, I will, but this is more as to why he's an inspiration for me and kind of how I came to know who he is. So, basically he's my favorite actor. I might even say my single favorite artist ever. Uh, he was an actor, but he just brought so much to movies where he played weird characters and he had kind of a very unusual look to him for just a movie star, movie person. And that really helped him portray really unique characters and he was able to play normal characters though. Just any movie, every role he was in, he just elevated it. He made it from a good movie to great. I had heard his name for a while, but I never knew who he was. And then I remember me and my wife got a Mission Impossible box set of the first three, and the first one I liked, second one was kind of meh, and the third one, I was my favorite of the three by far. Now it was a good movie, not amazing, just good, but the main villain, he didn't look intimidating at first, but with the movie not even being very graphic or just violent, he was the villain was just very threatening. Just awesome, really awesome villain. And found out afterward, after the movie's over, I was like, I have to look up who this guy is. I love this villain. And it was Philip Seymour Hoffman. I was like, oh, that's who this is. That's so weird. I didn't expect him to look like this. I thought he was going to be like a George Clooney, Brad Pitt. He's something like that looking. But that was where I first found him. And then I had to look up other movies he was in. I quickly realized he was Dusty from Twister. That's the first movie I know I saw him in. He was easily my favorite character in that movie. I loved that movie when I was a kid. It was really fun. Hollywood blockbuster movie, but it was just a fun movie. And I just remember Dusty was such a fun character in the movie. He was so much fun to watch. And then he gets hurt in the movie, and I was like, no, Dusty, no. And he doesn't die. Don't think that's a spoiler. Who cares? But it was anyway. He was my favorite character in the movie. And then I had to watch more movies with him in. I watched movies like Along Came Polly, where he played just comedic roles, really funny roles. He mostly played side character roles, but I just watched more movies where he was in as primarily side characters, but some as the main character too. And he just shined in everything. He was just in every movie, he made it so he was the best part or one of the best parts. It was beneficial for each project that he was involved. He just made it so much better. And that greatness is just, rare and uh, delicate. But even other top actors like Meryl Streep and uh, geez, I know there's some other ones too, have commented that Philip Seymour Hoffman elevated every movie he was in. He made the movie better, and I guess this kind of goes into the next part as to why this is important. Is because he died from acute drug intoxication. Uh, I don't think alcohol was in the mix. It was a few drugs, heroin or morphine, uh, some benzo stuff, and some other stuff. I'm not good with the big drugs, so it was a few big things though. And but where he mostly died from is from his addiction, because he had suffered from an addiction for a long time when he was young, younger than me when my addiction started. Mine started probably about, I think, 23. Yeah, I'd say 23, 24 is when it became an addiction. And for him, I know it was younger, like his high school, college days. But then the thing is he beat his addiction at 22. He went into rehab. He wanted to do things with his life, so he turned it around, got clean, and did those great things. Made great movies, and he did even so much more than movies. He did a lot of stage play stuff that I never got to see, and never will. As far as just, I guess, dramatic performances and dramatic arts, which are, this is my favorite style of art more than any other, especially movies or any kind of motion picture of some sort, and including voice acting. He was great into that section too. Just every movie, every kind of film he was involved in, he was just the best part. But anyway, so it was his addiction that he beat when he was 22, but resurfaced 20 to 24 some odd years later, just after having a couple drinks of alcohol. And I don't know the whole circumstance, of course. I can never know. I don't know if he was having a hard time in life or a couple hard things, or maybe he got cocky. Maybe he thought he could just have a few drinks with friends. He could handle it. I just know that's how it started, where he began having some drinks with friends and a couple drinks, I think every other week or so. I couldn't tell you the exact measurements, but a few drinks here and there turned into a few drinks nightly, and then he started using pills and drugs again. And of course, because now he's a big name actor, he has all the money and resources to just get anything. And he's in New York too, so just the circumstances were just so overwhelming for his addiction. It's a good thing that I feel like it's a good thing that I haven't had these extreme amounts of money and so on, because something worse like that could have happened to me too. And that's what's so important to just note about all this, is that so much greatness, so much potential, so much of what he could do could just be gone, and kind of stemming from a single night, just one night where he was like, I'll be fine if I have this. And that's why he kind of serves as just an easy example of that I got to be done with this forever. I can't ever have another drink, because he's just, I can't let everything that I'm working for just be demolished by one night of weakness or cockiness like that. I have to know that my addiction is hiding under the surface, and kind of always will be, just like him. And the vicious cycle is still going to continue through beating my addiction I'll be something greater and I'll make great things happen. Those that will provide greater opportunity, greater resources, and I have to go into this knowing that I'm only going to have more chances to drink, more chances to fall victim. Um, and that's why Philip Seymour Hoffman there's just no better reminder of the worst case scenario for me than my favorite actor. Uh, but like I said, possibly my favorite artist is, um, I know he's not family, and I didn't know him, and all that hoopla and so on. But as far as someone modern who I just, really admired work, I couldn't think of anyone. Movies are my passion as kind of hobbies go, and he was just the best part of movies for me. And he's also, the worst case scenario. He had 3 kids. He's just an example of my worst case scenario of what can happen to me. And that's why I can hold him so close as kind of an inspiration, because it just sucks not being able to see him in any other movies again, and it's just such a waste that I mean, clearly all of his great work was when he was sober, because he didn't start abusing again until it was like 2014 or so, and that's when he died quickly. I think he started drinking again in like October, November of 2013, and something around that time frame. But I know it was early 2014 that he started using heavy drugs again, and it's the point being that my addiction is lying dormant and will lie dormant, and it will always be a part of me. It's kind of the tails to the heads, and I have to know how to keep that balance. And it's just scary even kind of knowing from this example that 20 years from now, everything could be amazing for me, and there will still be those addiction opportunities, and there'll be even more available. Hopefully by then, I mean, the goal, because I have this example, is to prepare myself. I've got, plenty of time, I guess, to prepare for that, and just establish good patterns and good habits and good thoughts and good behaviors, just try to work out the addiction as much as possible and build up as big of a defense as much as possible. Because of this, I know, like I said, I know this can happen 20 years from now, likely forever for me from now, for as long as I live. So I have to, the fortress I have to build, my defense will always be growing, and that's just important. Philip Seymour Hoffman just serves as the best reminder of how important it is to always be prepared, and just how one moment of weakness or cockiness can take everything away. So he serves as just one of probably my most important, biggest inspiration, besides the important ones, my most important inspiration. I'm going to continue to watch the movies he's in. I have some more stuff actually to talk about with him, but that's all down the road. For now, he's inspiration to avoid number 1. And that's all for this. Thanks so much for listening again. I know this is kind of chore to sit through, but I appreciate you listening. Hopefully this was kind of some interesting, and hopefully you like Philip Seymour Hoffman too, and if not, check out some of his movies. Maybe I'll post some and have some in the description below of some of my favorites. I just didn't think it was too important to go into in the video, but just quick touch up, no workout today, no Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I slept so much this morning too. I mean, I did still help with chores, but I slept through kind of late in the morning, helped with chores and got some stuff taken care of, and then took a nap before work, went to work, and anyway, so I've been exhausted, and one of my kids has a fever, so I've been up this night helping her too. So I did try to go to the gym a couple times, but I just had to come back upstairs for help to help my feverish child. So that's okay. I feel exhausted still, so I guess I still need the rest. So hey, thanks for following me through to this 2-week mark. I can't tell you how excited I am. So I know I was having some hard days earlier, and right now the only hard thing I'm experiencing is just this never ending exhaustion. I'm just tired all the time right now. But I know through exercising just as much as possible, just eating better, which kind of haven't done because I've been so tired. It's not a good excuse, but it's not a good excuse at all. But I've just been forgetting about it, and I do feel like I'm distracted with this exhaustion all the time. Anyway, that's all for this one. I do have another topic for tomorrow episode, or day 15. I had episode 15, unless you count my other episode. Anyway, other small entries. But anyway, thanks so much again for listening. See you in tomorrow's episode, day 15. Thanks so much again for helping me get to 2 weeks. Love you guys. See ya.